Thank you for sharing where you're from, and welcome. Nice. Siyabonga, you're from Mpumalanga, Brayton. Very, very nice. Itumeleng, from Pretoria. We've got so many people from Pretoria, yay.
And we are live.
Okay. So I extend a warm welcome to everyone who has joined us today. We have prospective students from across South Africa and around the world joining us today. So welcome. So the purpose of today's open day, is to welcome you to Regenesis, and then to explain what makes Regenesis unique and special so that you feel confident in studying with us. My name is Penny Law, and I'm one of the co-founders and directors of Regenesis. I'll be your MC today and also provide the welcome address. So it's really, really wonderful that you're here. I'm so excited. And we have a really exciting program. We are honored to have the inspiring Mohale Modong as our motivational speaker. We've got a wonderful dean, Dr. Simuseni Kumalo, who will talk about the academic experience that you will get at Regenesis. And then he'll also explain the process of breaking into virtual groups based on the program that you're interested in. We have the respective heads of schools and the academic heads who will then provide a very detailed overview of your chosen program. So please feel free to ask as many questions as you like. There are no stupid questions. I invite you to stay for the entire session. It may seem long. I hope it will be riveting so no one will log off, but please stay for the entire session because we will be breaking into virtual rooms. So we don't want you to feel confused about the process and what you need to be doing. So why are you here? You are faced with two main questions. And one is, should I be studying? And then, why should I be studying at Regenesis? So firstly, I want to commend you for showing up today. Education is the best investment you can make in yourself. You can lose everything. You can lose your clothes, your car, your job, your house, everything. But you cannot lose your education. You cannot lose what is here. You can't lose your qualification. And in fact, it's your qualification that will help you to get a better job, a better car, a better house, etc. So if you're not sure about whether you want to study or not, I hope that you're now convinced about the importance of studying and getting your qualification. And now is the right time. You'll always have an excuse not to study. You'll always complain about not having enough money, or your children are too small, or they're too old, or your work is too demanding. Believe me, I know. When I did my honors, my master's, and my PhD, I was working full time. It's hard. It's hard. So I know the sacrifices that you have to make. You'll always find excuses not to study. But you know what? Before you know it, in 5 years, if you don't study now, you will be in the same place as you are now in 5 years' time. And maybe even in a worse off position because others would have overtaken you. So I implore you to study now. It's the best investment you will make in your life. It's not the easiest, but it will have enormous returns. So that's the first question. Should you study or not? The second question is about why Regenesis? Why should you consider us? And to answer that question, I want to share a story. So a few years ago, I interviewed someone who was applying for an academic position at Regenesis. And I asked him, why are you applying for this position? Because he was from the Northwest province And then he had to come all the way to Gauteng, to Johannesburg, right, to our campus in Sandton. And he said to me, oh, that's such an interesting story. He said he attended a big event and he engaged with many, many people. There was one young man who impressed him the most. And he said this young man was confident, he was articulate, he was well informed about the world. He just presented himself well, he was analytical, he was just really, really an outstanding person. And then the person I was interviewing asked this young man, where do you work? And this young man said, I'm not working. And he said, well, what do you do? And he said, well, I'm a student. He said, where are you studying? He said, Regenesis. And so the person I interviewed went back home, he looked us up, and then he applied for a job at Regenesis. And the point is that if you study at Regenesis, you will stand out wherever you are. And then you're going to ask how. You know, maybe it's just this one person. No, it's all of you. And I want to share 3 ways in which you're going to stand out. And the first one is because we develop students holistically. Our differentiator is holistic development. So you can go to any university and they develop IQ, right? The ability to think critically, analytically, metacognize, all that kind of stuff. A good higher education institution will develop EQ, emotional intelligence. Very few. And I think Regenesis is one of the few, if not the only one, that does not only develop IQ, but also SQ, which is spiritual intelligence. And that's not about religion. It's about understanding your highest purpose, why you're here. We also develop EQ, emotional intelligence, FQ, financial intelligence, PQ, physical intelligence, ProQ, professional intelligence, and DQ, digital intelligence. And then you think, well, you know, so what? Do I really need all these intelligences? What's the big deal? But research shows that in order to succeed personally and professionally, even socially, IQ is not enough. You need all these intelligences. You need SQ, spiritual intelligence, purpose to guide you in life, to help you take decisions, to help you to take responsibility, to enable you to learn and rise above adversity. You need EQ so you can work more effectively with people. You need PQ so that you can manage your health and your stress. You need financial intelligence to manage your budget and achieve financial freedom. You need professional intelligence in order to engage and succeed professionally. And you need DQ, digital intelligence, in order to harness technology. And you will be developing all these intelligences at Regenesis. So we have designed programs to help you to do this. Every single program has a personal mastery module where you will develop all these intelligences. And we also have an artificial intelligence module. So Dr. Sibu Kumalo will talk more about this. But in addition to all of this, we have separate and dedicated divisions at Regenesis that will focus on the development of each of these intelligences. We've got ACE, the Academic Center of Excellence, and this will help you and assist you in developing academic skills. So whether you're struggling to cope academically or you're aiming for that distinction, ACE will assist you. We've got Healthy, spelled with an I, not a Y. And this is a division focused on improving your health. We've got a gym. It's in Sandton, Johannesburg. We've got a weight loss program, and Dr. Rowan Governor will tell you more about it. It's a weight loss program. And in fact, Dr. Marco Sharavania's mother, the chairperson's mother, was in an accident. She had a hip injury and she needed crutches, a walker to walk. She went to the personal trainer as part of Healthy. She lost 25 kilograms in 4 months. Her sugar levels have stabilized. She can walk without her crutches. And this is because of healthy and being focused on diet and exercise. So if you're part of Healthy, you can join HIIT classes and Zumba classes and do yoga. You can join the hiking club and the soccer club. You can do all these things to promote your health. We've got Digital Regenesis, and this is a division that offers short learning programs in AI, in data science, in cybersecurity, in cloud computing, in digital marketing, and so forth. And so we don't want you to compete with AI. We want you to be able to leverage AI to become more competitive. We also want everyone to be financially free because financial intelligence is an important intelligence. And so we've got another division called Regenesis Investment Fund. And here you will learn how to invest money. You can also invest money in the Regenesis, or Regenesis Investment Fund will help you to invest your money, and you will enjoy healthy returns. So all these ways will enable you to develop holistically. You will stand out as a well-rounded and rounded person. So that's the first way that you will stand out. The second way you will stand out is that you will be part of a global ecosystem, a global network. And you will be able to advance yourself professionally across this network. So Regenesis Education is based in India, it's based in Croatia, we're based in 10 African countries, Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Uganda, Mauritius, Zambia, South Africa. And we have prospective students here that are representing those countries. We also have a registered company in the USA as well. So we have established industry partnerships with leading companies in these countries, and we deliver thought leadership events in these countries on a regular basis. You are going to be part of an alumni of more than 500,000 people. And the alumni department organizes fun and interesting events across wherever we have a base. And we will also be hosting an annual Regenesis summit, alumni summit. So you will be standing out by growing and expanding your networks, by being part of this larger ecosystem. That's the second way you will stand out. The third way you will stand out is by cultivating a powerful presence and amplifying your impact. We have 6 graduate attributes, and these attributes will ensure that you are globally competitive. And Dr. Sibo will explain this in more detail. We're not a traditional university where you sit in lecture and then you have to take notes. We expect you to interact, to engage critically and analytically. Our facilitators will use interactive learning and teaching approaches, like such as polls and quizzes and videos and simulation exercises and games and case studies and debates and videos. We want you to engage interactively. And the point is, when you engage interactively, you will develop critical thinking capabilities. You will develop confidence. You'll become more analytical. You'll develop the capability to solve complex and unfamiliar problems. You'll be able to metacognize and synthesize. You are going to stand out because you will have a greater impact wherever you are. So in summary, I've explained 3 ways in which studying at Regenesis will make you stand out. You will be developed holistically. You will advance yourself professionally across your global network. You will develop your presence and strengthen your impact. So you are going to be like that young man I spoke about early on, in that story that I shared. You're going to impress your colleagues, your managers, people you interact with, your friends, not in an arrogant way, but in a way where people see you as professional, as polished, in a way where you come across as inspiring, credible, authentic, and confident. And that's what will happen when you study at Regenesis. So I really hope that I've answered the two questions. Should you be studying at all? And if so, why should you be studying at Regenesis? And now I would like to introduce you to our very, very inspiring speaker. And I think you already know him because he's very, very well known. He's an influencer, a very, very inspiring influencer, Mr. Mohale Motoang. And can I ask Mr. Motoang to please turn his camera on so you can see him, because I'm going to introduce him. He is going to be our motivational speaker for today. Mohale, is your camera on? So Mohale Motoang is an entrepreneur. He's a model, so he's good looking as well. He's an actor, plus he's an academic. And he's debuted his acting career on the Pan-African series called MTV Sugar Down South, which streamed in over 52 countries across the world. He later went on to feature on Mzansi Magic's S5 Rockville, and was also on the award-winning soapy Rhythm City streaming on ETV. Mohale is currently a radio host on an online radio station called Opulence Radio, where he co-hosts the breakfast show from Mondays to Fridays. This multi-talented personality also runs successful business in fashion and inventing space, and he's soon going to launch a cosmetic industry, a new venture in cosmetics. Mohale's purpose extends beyond his media personality career. He does a lot of philanthropic work where he volunteers his time to offer motivational talks. He offers monetary as well as requested donations such as sanitary pads, food station, etc. And he partners with various brands to help aid various non-profit organizations. He has also founded his own foundation called For the Youth Foundation to help so many people in South Africa as possible, especially the youth. Mohale has successfully entered into leading brands such as Mini Cooper, Versace, Finery Gin, and Vodacom. And that's just to mention a few. And he works with these companies because they align with his purpose and his goals. They also cater to his niche, and then they add value to his audience as well. He's a free-spirited, ambitious individual with a great sense of style and appeal that intrigues brands and consumers who want to associate with him. So without further ado, we welcome Mohale Motoang. Please, sir.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Penelo. That was a beautiful introduction. And thank you so much for having me. Good morning to the students that are joining us this morning. Good morning to the academic team at Regenesis Education. And good morning to everybody that has made a beautiful decision today to go after their dreams. Now, when I was thinking about what I really want to talk about this morning, I thought about the power of making a decision, right? And 3 years ago, I sat with the decision of whether I want to go back to school and further my studies and continue and studying further, or do I want to just sit? Because I'd already been working with brands, I'd already been going to events, I was already doing a lot of stuff in my career and in my life. And I had to sit with the power of making a decision. And one thing that really, came to mind when I had to make this decision was really but just shaping my future. I don't think any of us have the power to predict our futures, but we really have the power to shape our futures. And when I made the decision to go back to Regenesis Education, that's really what prompted for me to make the decision, because I thought, how else can I shape my future? How else can I make sure that my future is brighter than it is at the moment? How else can I make sure that I'm able to achieve bigger things and better things if I don't make the decision now? And that's how I sat with the power of making the decision to go back to Regenesis Education. Now, look, I am actually I'm actually graduating this year. And 3 years ago, if you had told me that in 2026 I'll be graduating, I would have probably laughed at you, because the journey hasn't been so easy. It was tough. It meant long mornings, long nights, being at the library until like midnight, during exams. But I think today I sit here and I'm actually so proud of myself, because I stayed the course. I literally made the decision and I ran with it. So what I really want to say to you guys this morning is, as you sit here today and as you trying to figure out whether you should make this decision, whether to study or not, I am telling you today that, just make the decision. There is, power in shaping your future. And like Dr. Penny Law said earlier on, that this is the greatest investment that nobody else can take away from you. A lot of people can take away your opportunities. A lot of people can talk about your personality. But your education and the level in which you have worked through it is something that nobody can take away from you. So the decision that you have to make today to further your studies or even start a new degree, if you've been, sort of thinking, should I do it? Should I not? You're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I am here to tell you that just do it. Because you're going to sit one day and think back and say, I really thank myself for making that decision. And I sit here now and I'm already thinking about, what am I going to do for my postgraduate? I mean, they gave me a call the other day, the team at Regenesis, asking me, okay, you're almost done with your degree. What are you doing next? And it's quite exciting, because I didn't think that this would be happening. I had to sit down and be like, okay, now it's time to plan for the next step. And, God willingly, I need to get to PhD and be like Dr. Penny Law, I think if as long as you have that ability and you want to do it, then just do it. I mean, nobody is actually stopping you from sitting down, making that decision, and just study. So I will say though that it is not easy. It is definitely not easy. It requires hard work. It requires resilience. It requires you to dedicate and make time for your studies in order for you to, get those good results and move on to the next year and move on to your postgraduate. But the team at Regenesis is actually very, very, very efficient. I mean, we get reminders for when class is, we get reminders for assignments, we get reminders for when exams is. So you will never feel like you just have to do this journey all alone. As soon as it's time for you to, submit your assignment, you get reminders. The student material is there. The lecturers are always available on email. The team at the school as well on the ground, very efficient. I mean, you can get to reception and ask to speak to a student advisor, and everybody is just there to guide you so that you don't feel like you are doing this alone. And I think, in education, it's very important for you to have a support structure. And the support structure has really helped me at Regenesis. I mean, sometimes I will have to sit at the library and Sis Tembi has to knock off, but I think it's that support structure that is important, that allows you to get to where you want to be. So as you sit there today, wanting to make the decision, wanting to study, trying to figure out what to study, I know that you guys are going to break away into your separate rooms, ask as many questions as you can. As you make that decision today of what you want to study, just do it. And you will thank yourself, because that is the power of making a decision. All the best, and thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming through to this open day. And I wish you all the best for this academic year. Thank you, Dr. Penny Law.
Thank you so much, Mohale and Motongi. It was such a great pleasure. And thank you for your inspiring words and input. And you can see by all the claps that you're so loved and so appreciated. And congratulations for graduating very soon.
Thank you.
You eventually getting your doctorate.
Yes.
We will call you Dr. Matuong.
Yes, that's the way.
From Pale, the power to change a life is in your hands. And he was saying that it's going to be a tough journey, but we are with you. We will support you. So we are going to have Dr. Sibuseni Kumalo our beloved Dean. And I'm going to ask Dr. Sibo to please turn his camera on so that we can see him. Now, Dr. Sibo is our Dean, and he's been with Regenesis since 2007. But he looks still so young, right? So he has held very senior positions at Regenesis, such as being a director at Regenesis. He was also the head of the Knowledge Management and Material Development Department. In addition to being the dean, he's also the head of research, where he's responsible for driving academic research and publications and initiating conferences and thought leadership events. He has facilitated extensively, especially for corporate education clients such as Momentum and Eskom. Have you noticed our lights haven't gone out? And that's because Dr. Sibo has facilitated sessions with the executives at Eskom. He's taught for BMW. So all these big clients. He's a brilliant academic. He's a brilliant leader. And he is responsible for driving our 2030 academic strategy. To me, he epitomizes academic excellence. And he also ensures that our academic faculty foster Regenesis magic in the classroom. So that's what he tries to drive. Just a little bit about his past. Before joining Regenesis, he worked at the Commission on Traditional Leadership Disputes and Claims and Menyetla Projects and the Environmental Biotechnology Research Group. He's got a master's from Rhodes University, holds his Doctor of Business Management from Regenesis Business School. So it is my pleasure to ask Dr. Sibo to please speak to us. And after that, he will then explain how you will be broken into rooms, okay, and what you need to do. So please stay, because it's very important that you understand how the next process will work. Over to you, Dr. Sibo.
Thank you so much, Dr. Penny-Law. And yeah, you're so kind with those words. Thank you. So also, good morning to Mr. Mohale Mtaom, if you're still with us. Thanks for making time this morning. And a special greeting to my colleagues who are here, and they come from across the world. And a very, very special greeting and welcome to our guests who are joining us this morning. I saw people are coming from across the world, and we're really happy to have you this morning. And to some of you, it's afternoon already. So Dr. Law spoke about standing out, from the story she shared with us. And let me just summarize, quickly, and I hope not to take too long in this regard. But what makes our students stand out generally, it's in these areas, in these 6 areas I'm going to mention. They make decisions that are grounded in research. So we teach people how to research. We want to make sure that people, when they go to their organizations, to their boardrooms, etc., they make decisions that are sound. And so it's not something that will happen automatically. We have to teach our students to do that. We have to integrate this attribute in the manner in which we engage with them. But also they think differently. They are known for thinking differently. And you will notice that a Regenesis student, by and large, from how they think and they, the ideas they have and the leadership element. We're big on this conscious leadership. Most of you will go and do this module in various qualifications. We hold this in high regard. So we want, when our students go out there, our graduates go out there, we want them to be able to display this attribute, but also to live accordingly, to live according to this attribute, to sort of lead with consciousness. And we won't go into details now, but I'm just mentioning that our students, when they leave us, when they become graduates and go out to make significant impact in the world, it is because of these graduate attributes, conscious leadership and others. But also the element of diversity. Dr. Law touched on it earlier on as we were beginning the session. We want our students to harness diversity because our strength lies in that. Wherever you may be in a leadership role or wherever really, we need to be able to be mindful of diversity and be able to harness it. And so our faculty, in the way in which they engage with our students, they really impress on this in so many different ways. But by the time you complete, it would be second nature to you to want to be part of diversity. But also, how do our students come across? You know, the young man at the party was spotted by the person who was interviewed by Dr. Law. They comported themselves in a certain way that make them to stand out. And that's, again, not something that happens by chance, by coincidence. We have to sort of build it, develop it, and ensure that people are mindful of this. So the comportment and professional comportment, it's something that we build in our students and all of that. But also, we live in a world where we are so interconnected. So we need to be able to think globally, to have a mindset that allows for us to think big. We've got students from across the world, really, and faculty from across the world again. And so our students, therefore, should be able to think big, to think globally, but to be mindful of the local context. So we coined a term, local outlook. That's what we want to see from our students when they leave and when they graduate and go out to make an impact in the world. So those are the graduate attributes. I'm mentioning them because Dr. Law touched on them earlier on. So my colleagues later on can go into detail, but definitely when you go to class, and I'm looking forward to having you in class, you will hear a lot more of this because we want to make sure we infuse, we integrate these attributes in the manner in which we facilitate, in the manner in which we assess you, and how we engage with you. But that aside, Dr. Law, I want to talk about something that's very important here. And of course, there are many other important areas, but the student success and academic excellence, that's something that's at the core of why we exist. And of course, we want to make the world a better way, a better world, a better place to live in through quality education. And that means all our students who complete qualifications with us are the ones who are really going to make that better world out there in their spaces. But it starts here. It starts with our operational model in the academic space. And this model suggests that everything really revolves around the student. Everyone here at Genesis is here because of the student. And so student support is a big deal here. You heard that Mr. Mohale talking about this. It's not by coincidence. It's not because he's an influencer, he's a famous person. Every one of our students has to be treated in that way. It's by design. We've designed it in that way. But also, let us talk to the reality. The reality that we are facing, and I believe not only in South Africa, but it's really prominent in South Africa, that not all students who enter the higher education space are starting from the same starting line because of different backgrounds. And so we really have to acknowledge that and do something about it. We recognize that student support, it can make or break this journey. It's the student support in a way holds the entire tertiary education experience together. Without student support, many dreams would be shattered. Many people would drop out. And of course, we do acknowledge again that students may drop out for various reasons, but it should not be for reasons of lack of student support. And so that's a big deal here. That's why we came up with ACE, what we call ACE, that's the Academic Center of Excellence. And at its core, ACE is guided by two principles, and it's the principle of support as well as the principle of enhancement. Again, this is all geared towards our students. We want our students, all of them, to be successful in their studies, or else why are we here? It's in our best interest to make sure that all our students are successful. And for others, it may be because they just want to bridge a gap, coming from high school into tertiary education. But others, it may be that they've been out of, studying for quite some time and they want to brush up. So be that as it may. And for others, they may be high achievers already and excelling academically, but they want to sort of develop further skills. And that's why ACE exists. It exists to support them in whatever their shortcomings may be, but it also exists to enhance for those who want to enhance. And so within ACE, there's a team there which again, you will get to meet when you join us. They will be part of the orientation. They will be telling you more details about what happens. So we offer within that space courses that fill the gaps, in terms of educationally and also personally, the personal skill set, because we, are interested in a holistic being. We are interested in a student that is well-rounded. Dr. Law touched on this. It's not only about the cognitive elements, but it's everything else that makes up a human being, that makes up our student. And so this center looks at those skills as well, educational as well as personal. So in the first year, we noticed that people tend to struggle. First year students, they tend to struggle for various reasons. It may be acclimatizing to the tertiary space, it may be anxieties, it may be whatever the case may be. And so that year becomes very critical. It may be someone who's at a grad program or even post-grad, but that first year is very critical for us to sort of observe and guide you and support you and hold you where needs be. So our support initiatives, they tend to then act as a safety net to prevent dropouts. We ensure that our students aren't overwhelmed, because it can be overwhelming. Mohale said here, it's not easy, and that's a reality. Some modules will find easier, some not so easy. Sometimes not just the modules, but the environment may not necessarily be the same for everyone. But we don't want our students to be overwhelmed. And so we will give you the tools that will help you, to navigate successfully and eventually for you to be successful, because that's our model, student success and academic excellence. And so at ACE, we believe in proactive enhancement. We don't want to wait until you fail, until you flunk a module. We will notice you early enough that you are battling. We are coordinating with the schools. They will be reporting and telling us what's actually happening with students. And those who have been identified to be struggling based on their marks, we'll talk to ACE, and ACE will reach out to them and support them accordingly. We've got tutors. Our academics work closely with ACE, and they will then be giving you that direct interaction, one-on-one type of support in the specific areas where you are noticed to be struggling. But broadly speaking, our Center of Academic Excellence will address these 4 areas: the academic literacy, so that we teach you the skills. These are academic skills. We teach you the skills of how to conduct research, preparing for your exams, the writing, critical thinking, and all of that. It's part of personal mastery, as you'll hear later on when you join us. So academic literacy is a big deal. Numeric literacy as well, handling data, dealing with logic, with confidence. It's important for you to be successful. Digital literacy, it was mentioned earlier on. We talk about AI, we talk about technology. So we want our students to be very conversant and be very confident in terms of those skills, digital skills, but also personal growth. That's why we have personal mastery. And I won't go into details there, but we want our students to be emotionally resilient. We want them to develop the necessary, the soft skills that are required for them to be successful as they go out and making that impact out there in the world. So the student success, as it were, the ACE space, as it were, its primary goal is to make sure that our students are successful. We don't want to leave anyone behind. We don't want people to drop out. We don't want you to invest so much money and you're not successful. We have to support you. And only when you give up, then will you not be successful. But if you are not giving up, we will support you. We will support you all the way until graduation. So that's our promise to you. And we've done this successfully over the years. And again, ACE is open to all. Start from the beginning, engage with them. Don't wait for a time when you are struggling. From the onset, you will hear them talk to you at orientation. And just from that point onwards, please engage. There will be workshops, there will be masterclasses, there will be all sorts of things. So it's there for you to make sure that your students are successful. But besides that ACE environment, which supports our students academically, we also have to consider administrative support. Mr. Mohale Motang talked about this, student support from the admin point of view. That again is a big deal. We call them, customer relations managers, student relationship managers, and administrators. That's your first port of call. Those are the individuals that you interact with on an ongoing basis, and they support you in that regard. they report to their managers. Eventually, this function reports to the registrar. And so they are there to remind you, to ask you why you were not in class, all those things. So there will be constant engagement. We want to give you that private bank experience. That's ultimately what we want to achieve with you. And so there's no excuse for not really making it. And we don't want you to sort of battle along the way. And we don't want you to sort of not drive. We want you to drive. We want you to do well with confidence, because that is the confidence that shows when you go out there. And so I sort of touched on the student support and our operational model, and a lot more you will hear about when you join us. We'll take you through, we'll guide you as we're promising. And so, Dr. Law, that's what I can share for now. And I think you actually asked me to, unless you want to say something, from this point, I would want to introduce you to our academic heads and heads of schools. You will be breaking into different rooms where you will meet them. And before you do so, I would like to introduce them. And as I call out their names, and I would like to ask them to please just turn on their cameras, then you can see who they are. Afterwards, then you'll join your breakout room. First on the list here, let me just pull it out. Yeah, that will be the School of Law. Some of you may be keen on that school, wanting to do LLB. You will be met with the team there, and the advocate Kevin Malunga is the academic head you will find there. There will be other colleagues accompanying her, or accompanying him, sorry, Advocate Malunga, and there will be a breakout room for LLB. Also, representing the business school undergraduate programs, for those of you who are keen on your Bachelor of Business Administration or your higher certificate in business management, we have Mr. Mchoki, Luyanda Mchoki, who is with Dr. Nishikant Bora. They will be chatting to you there. Please engage with my colleagues who look after that school, business school undergraduate programs. Also, the School of Economics. Those of you who want to explore programs offered by this school, please join Mr. Ronald Botes as well as Mr. Senzo Kumede. They will be engaging with you in the breakout room. The School of Public Management, there's various programs there, from undergraduate programs to postgraduate programs. That is from higher certificate in public management, Bachelor of Public Management, postgraduate diploma, as well as Master of Public Management. Ms. Fulufelo Ramashia, as well as Mr. Andrew Simenya will be there to engage you, and please do and talk to them, ask questions. School of Technology, very interesting programs offered there. Dr. Rajesh Rialgi, together with Mr. Bryson Pata, will be chatting to you. School of Education, Ms. Kamala Pata and her team will be joining you. Kamala is the head of that school. Please engage with her. Those who want to now do their doctorate, which would be Dr. Nelly Shilufia, who will be waiting there in the room to engage with you. And for those who want to do MBA and postgraduate diploma in business management, so that's business school postgraduate programs, you will find Dr. Rajesh Sharma, who's the academic head, and Dr. Kenel Skutsie. Please join him for those who are keen on the postgraduate diploma in project management and in postgraduate diploma in digital marketing. So that's Dr. Kenel Skutsie. And finally, some of you may be keen on pursuing skills programs. We have the Skills Academy represented by Mr. Salimu Katete. Please do engage. So you will then notice that at the bottom of the screen, if you look at the bottom, the second last icon, it's a breakout room icon. If you click on that icon, you should see 4 blocks. And if you click there, there will be a drop-down menu, and you will then choose the school that you are interested in. You'll go in there and you'll find the head of school and the academic head. Please engage with them. They will do whatever they plan to do there, just to give you an idea of what the school has to offer and how it offers what it offers. So please do engage with them. And after those engagements in those breakout rooms, that will be it. the business of this main room here would have ended. And I would like, therefore, before you click the breakout rooms, if you can, then just wait for Dr. Law to say her final words, and then you can go to those breakout rooms. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Very briefly, I hope that we have answered the two questions, which is, should I be studying? And I hope the answer is yes. And then secondly, if I'm studying, then where should I be studying? And I hope that you've answered that you will be studying with us at Regenesis. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you showing up here, and we look forward to seeing you. We've also noticed a lot of questions in the chat box. Thank you very much for asking those questions, and we will be answering them. So if your questions have not been answered, please come speak to one of us, and we will ensure that your answers are addressed. Thank you, and enjoy spending time with your head of school or your academic head. And thank you so much, Dr. Sibu Kumalo. You're always inspired.
Thank you. I will miss you down here in South Africa, but enjoy India. And coaches are playing there. Hope you are attending. Okay, so to our academic heads, please make your way to your rooms so that you can meet up with our guests. Again, the bottom right of your screen, please just choose the breakout room. I think it's the third icon on my system here. On your end, it may be different, but go to the breakout